Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow, and welcome to a region called Zil. And today, I thought I'd show you Russia's newest shopping center that opened a couple of days ago. And I thought we'd have a little bit of a walk around. Now this is a brand new place, so not quite everywhere is open, but there is a very interesting supermarket that I want to show you as part of this video as well, which I think is rather interesting. So we're going to go for a walk around, and I'm going to show you what is happening in Russia in 2025 and some of the new things that are opening. The actual mall is right behind me. We're going to head on inside. We're going to walk inside the shopping center in just a minute. It's actually really cold today. Where I actually am in the Zil micro-district is very close to the Moscow River as well. So when you come to this area, it tends to be a couple of degrees colder because of the wind chill off the river. And this area is probably more famous for a car factory that they used to have here that produced a lot of vehicles that were from the times of the USSR and the Soviet Union, and that factory is long closed, and then these new buildings are popping up in its place, and this very large shopping center, which somebody told me before I got here is not very big. And then this whole area immediately by the river, they are building new apartment blocks, and they're popping up like flowers out of the ground. And then they've got this nice boulevard here. Now the weather today isn't beautiful. It's a very overcast, cold day. Now the shopping center opened a few days ago, and I thought I'd go and have a look, particularly for a certain supermarket that's in here that I've not covered on the channel before. They are actually also going to be opening a brand new metro station at the end of the street. You can probably just see a yellow crane off in the distance, and that's probably about 3 or 4 months away from opening. And there is also the train, about a 10-minute walk from here as well. I did actually make a video here of the very large hardware store, which is in the lower level of the building right in front of us, called Limana Pro. Now the actual lower level of this place eventually will have a whole lot of different food markets and restaurants. The famous Perekrestok is actually open. This is a pancake style restaurant with lots of savory pancakes and different well-known Russian foods. It's actually a takeaway coffee place right here. I don't think this is quite open yet. We're going to head on in and check this place out. I just realized I didn't mention the name of the shopping center where we're going to walk in. It's called Zoom, and the word I think perhaps has some sort of reference to Zil and Zoom, and they've mixed it together a little bit. Interestingly, you can't bring your own hamburgers into the shopping center. Not sure why you would if there's that many places to eat here. And there is also a limitation on how large your dog can be. However, I think that's really just a fun, interesting sign that they put there. Let's go on inside. My hands are freezing. It is much colder than what I realized it was when I was coming out today. And let's have a walk around and check this place out. Firstly, from the outside, it doesn't look that big. However, once you come in this main entrance here, have a look at the ceiling and how tall this main lobby area is. And this is considered a small shopping center for Moscow. But it just feels very large when you first walk in here. I think the camera doesn't give it too much perspective when you're watching it on your phone or perhaps on a TV. And let's have a wander around and see what we can find. The one thing I do like when I come to Russian shopping centers is they've got heating. and it's nice and warm in here. And I was only outside for about 10 minutes deciding how to start the video. If you don't know me, I'm an Australian who lives here in Moscow region, and my channel is about living here in Russia and all of the normal things that come along with it. And I'm sure if you might have seen some of the other videos on the channel, there is lots of very normal things that I like to film and show and introduce you to that are here in Russia. As a point of reference for when I'm making this video, I'm here on a Wednesday lunchtime, so there won't be that many people here in the shopping center itself, and it won't be very busy. The actual area where I am, all of these new apartment buildings really aren't full with people yet. So a lot of people haven't moved into the apartments because there's a lot that are still under construction. So this place would take probably another year or more to really get up to speed. However, the people that do live here already have a very nice brand new shopping center to come to. And the point of the video really is to show you what's happening in 2025 and to see are things getting built and are things opening. There is a very well-known chain of supermarkets. We will briefly walk in there in a little while. This is called Perekrestok. Actually, in English, it translates to crossroads. And then there is also a perfume shop, or at least a store that's got different perfumes and creams right here, which is, for me, a little bit out of place because it's right between the supermarket and a food court. And then for now, I would say around about a quarter of all the places are open. There's going to be a money exchange place. These are pretty normal in all shopping centers in Russia. So the actual shopping center itself is over 3 levels. And then there is some shops open on all of the levels. I think every shopping center that opens in Russia, the jewelry shop is the very first place to open. Hello. And then I just had to stop filming for a few minutes. There was a group of school kids who came up to me, obviously because I'm speaking in English. They have a lot of interest of what I'm doing here or why I'm here in the area where they live and go to school. And of course, I don't want to put them on the video because a lot of people don't like me showing children on the channel. But they were very nice kids, spoke very nice English. So perhaps if they looked up my channel, how's it going? And the kids do morning schooling in Russia depending on the school they go to. So they go to school from about 7:30 in the morning, then they finish by early afternoon. I wonder if that's more inspiring for the kids that they finish school earlier. So I think they've come to check out the new shopping center just like I am. As I walk around, I won't cover every part of the shopping center. The one thing that's perhaps for me more interesting, and perhaps for you watching at home where you live, I'm curious how often they open new shopping centers in the city where you live, because in Russia there is a new shopping center opening every week somewhere in the country, and this is the absolute newest one in Russia. I think maybe for a few days, and then there'll be another one opening somewhere else. There is a barber shop right here. Looks like a sports themed one. They've actually got football on the screens right there where you can get your hair cut, which is really cool. And then all the ladies can go in next door. Selfie Nail and Beauty Club, which is very interesting. I think a lot of people like to take selfies when they're doing their nails. And the one thing I found really interesting, it's probably hard to see, I did walk around a little bit early, they've got a VIP room which you can go in and they can draw the curtains and you can have your pedicure done in secret. There is a very large perfume and cosmetic store here as well. These are actually all throughout Russia. I think they're actually a franchise, or at least a company store. So every brand that said that they've left Russia, they are definitely in here. If they're opening brand new shops, there must be something, or somehow they're getting all of the products. You can see just from the entrance here and then all the way through, it is completely full and stocked. Of course, this opened a few days ago, so the shop naturally will be full. And all of the well-known brands that are not in Russia are definitely still here. I wanted to come to this shopping center for a couple of reasons. One, to show that retail is alive and well here in Russia. Two, because a lot of the major brands are still here and will eventually open. There is actually going to be 2 food court areas in this shopping center. On this upper level, all of the fast food and very typical fast food places will have cafes. Now actually behind these glass panels, they're building out a whole food court area. And then there is also going to be a eat market. And then the other reason, there's quite a lot of reasons I came to make this video, is to show that business continues as normal. Brand new shopping centers are opening. And then even the well-known German cleaning company has their machine running around. It does look very empty from this angle, and I completely agree. I am here in the middle of a working day, so I don't expect people to be here. Also, the one thing that they do a little bit differently in Russia to other places is they'd have an opening of the shopping center and everyone would come and they'd cut a ribbon and balloons and things like that. What they like to do in Russia is do what they call a soft opening. So this opened a few days ago, but the actual grand opening is not for another month from now. So they open the shopping center as soon as they possibly can and then let everything gradually open over time. Perhaps I can make the title and thumbnail of this video more dramatic because of how empty it is and how there is no shops open in a brand new shopping center. But that's not the point of the videos that I like to make. I like to document different supermarkets and different shopping centers in Russia, and that's how the channel started. And to show that regardless of what's shown on Western media, shops are still opening, trading. Of course, companies wouldn't come to places like this if they realized they couldn't make money and make the business work. Yeah, this might have to be my thumbnail with this hollow corridor. I don't like to do that, but until a few more shops do open. Behind all of these different doors, there is actually people or guys doing the construction and remodeling. So of course some shops have chosen to open as early as a few days ago, and then some will actually progressively open until the main grand opening of this place. One thing that's becoming incredibly popular in Russia is the opening of gyms in shopping centers. And the other point is a lot of the shopping centers that are opening want to become more than just a traditional shopping center. So they want them to become meeting places where people can come to cafes and restaurants. People can bring their kids to play centers. They can go to places like gyms, cinemas, dance studios, and they become more multifunctional over time. Then also these smaller concept shops can open as more of a close to home shopping center rather than that traditional regional shopping mall. So a lot of people who would come shopping here would live in the immediate area within walking distance. There is actually 2 levels of underground parking here as well. So people will drive to this place at some point to come here. but a lot of people would live very close to this shopping center, and it will be their neighborhood place to come. I think it's really interesting here in Russia, when you come to a shopping center like this, that more than half of this shopping center is untraditional shops or businesses. And these multifunction centers, as they like to be called, become more than just that place where you go buy your shoes and clothes. So there's a reason to return, to come to a place like this for a fitness center, kids clubs, there's a cyber cafe, and then all of the restaurants. So you're not thinking about coming here to come and look for shoes and clothes like you would traditionally. And you'd have other reasons to come here, maybe meet some friends, go to a restaurant, and then maybe even go to the gym together, for instance. And it's not just about coming to spend money in a shoe or clothing shop. I'm really curious, for anybody who's not in Russia, do they have these gaming centers? I don't remember in Australia them being a thing. However, it's a hugely popular thing to do in Russia. And this one just opened a couple of days ago, so they're still working on it. But these are these dark lit rooms where obviously everyone doing online gaming, and you can come and basically rent a computer by the hour. You can even bring your own computer or laptop if you want to. Do you have these where you live? Let me know in the comments. So I think a lot of people around the world know that in some shopping centers they've got children's activity centers where the kids can come and play with toys and do coloring in and different things. But here in Russia, they've got something a little bit more interesting, where the kids actually come to a gym, and the kids will come and learn and perhaps become future Olympians. So it's actually a fitness center for kids, but they actually learn all of the techniques around using all of the traditional gym equipment. And do you think your kids will realize that they're getting healthy and fit at the same time, but they're learning the uneven bars or the beam? There is actually some trampolines over there, and then even the parallel bars as well, and the Roman rings. And how cool is this? Has anyone seen this before? Do they have these in shopping centers where you live? Please let me know in the comments. There is also a dance studio here as well. Now you can't actually see this because it's all walled off for obvious reasons. But perhaps even the kids or some adults want to come and learn to dance. And they have a place like that just here also. Just looking up the dance school behind me, and it's been opened by a very famous Russian dancer and choreographer. And interestingly, she was one of the first people to bring breakdancing to Russia. And I would never have known that had I not just looked it up and Googled it. I learn something new every day. And the place is called Toads. Now I'm thinking frog, but it's actually a certain dance move. So if anybody knows what it is, let me know in the comments. Before I left home, I did actually look on the map of the shopping center, and it showed there was 2 different food courts. And so far, there's not a single cafe inside the shopping center open yet. And they will eventually open this Eat Market, which consists of all of these different small restaurants. And I think the one right at the front here will serve alcohol as well. So we're just going to have to wait that little bit longer. What I will show you though is 2 very nice supermarkets. Now, if you are watching through the video, I would suggest sticking around till the end to see the second one. Now, this is Perekrestok, which is throughout the entire country of Russia, one of the very typical supermarkets. And this place, of course, this is brand new as well and just opened. and they're in full operation. They've got a little cafe right at the entrance here. What I'll do one lap around here. I'm not going to focus on it too much because I've got quite a lot of videos on the channel of other shops by this brand name. You have some nice snacks in the entrance here, and then come right into the fruit and vegetable area. We are in between seasons right now, so some of the prices on unseasonal fruits and vegetables are a little bit high. It's just a matter of catching the right items. Plastic shopping baskets and trolleys. I did notice too, they've got a coffee cup holder, so you can grab a coffee when you come in, and you can have it right on your basket. All of the very normal fruits and vegetables. Nothing too uncommon in this place. This is very typical of mid-size supermarkets in Russia. I do like the fact they've got the doors on the fridges, so they save energy a little bit. Lots of healthy things coming into Perekrestok. They've got their own brand now that they've created with healthy food options. Actually, there's a few more over here. They're dotted around the store when you come in. Even they got flowers in here. This place is brand new. And then have a look, even energy bars. Not too sure if there's a healthy water that you can pick from, but there is quite a few. Hello. I just missed the gentleman waving. The staff in Perekrestok are always super nice. Doesn't matter which one you go to. I'm sure it's a part of their hiring process that they find friendly, personable people. Actually, there's a whole section here of healthy food items. Even some of the dairy products on the right-hand side. And then all of the seafood. Fresh salmon. There's fresh fish, smoked fish, every possible meat you would like. Now, with this being completely new, they're still stocking some parts of the shop as well. And of course, lots of people shopping here who would live in this immediate area. I think they're loving the fact that there's a brand new supermarket minutes from their apartment. Perekrestok also has quite a lot of imported items as well. So you'll see a little section of Asian food, pasta we know very well. And just have a look at this sauce aisle here, and all of the different ketchups and barbecue sauces. Also have some olive oils up there as well. Do we need 40 different ketchups? Really? Actually, they've got all of the selection of Heinz down there. Do we need that many choices? In Russia, I think 5 or 10 is more than enough. They do have a nice cheese selection as well. And have a look, they just pop the little mini champagnes in there as a suggestion for you, or some fruit as well. Where I live in Moscow region, we don't have this brand of supermarket immediately where I live. I have 7 others to choose from. So when I come into this sort of place, I'm always very happy and smiling when I see such a large selection of things. So it's nice to come to somewhere different from where I live and have a look at all of the other choices of things that you can get. They have their own mini bakery here as well, and they've got some of the machines back behind the counters. Plenty of pastries and different savories that you can get. Of course, the aisles upon aisles of candy and sweets. There's even a fridge over here with ready-made cakes. Never-ending sweets and treats in Russian supermarkets. Even this aisle of chocolate bars is a few too many. And then actually when you walk through the back of the shop, the tiles change slightly. And you end up in their alcohol shop or drink store. And then basically it's the back exit of the shop at the same time, depending on where you come in. One thing I really do like at these shops, they've got the country flags, so you can see where all the products are from, and they try to group them together by a region. So you can see Italy, Germany, Greece. There's even an Australian flag right there. Have a look. Actually, this is from New Zealand. What's going on? Need to tell somebody about that. That's super interesting. Maybe they thought that it's roughly the right place. And then you've got all of the alcohol and spirits. There's some grab and go chilled drinks. If you want just something to drink now outside. All of the well-known alcohol. Of course, plenty of choices of American whiskies. Right about $20 US for a 700ml bottle of Jack Daniels. More than enough choices, I think. Then around the corner, of course, the selection keeps going. All of the vodka. And of course we're in Russia, so there's going to be more of them. There's even from Sweden up there, Absolut. So you can still get all of the brands that seem to claim to be not here. And there's a little mini cafe here, right by the other exit, so you can sit and have something to eat. Pretty sure they've got plugs to charge your phone. There's a microwave to warm up your food. Have a coffee. Have a latte. They've also got some pastries. And then there's also plenty of ready food. So what they do in the back here, they've got self-checkout. So you just come and pay your own goods and walk out. Simple. And then if you're not wanting to cook dinner tonight, you have lots of ready-made food. And these are literally just pop them in the microwave and you're good. Never-ending choices of water in Russia. And there's also a small little kitchen here where you can get pizza and sushi. And I would say probably in the mornings they maybe make it right here at the back as well. So yeah, this is a very typical Russian supermarket in an absolutely brand new shopping center. There is people coming in and out of here shopping, and this will all be locals who live immediately where this building is. I was thinking this is a new flavor of Lay's, but this is paprika. Maybe not as new. Perhaps where you live there's so many different flavors. And have a look at the beer selection. There is something from every country in the world. And actually, generally, this sort of place has very little Russian beer. And they focus a lot more on imported products. And then, of course, ice creams and seafood. You want some shrimps. As I walk out of Perekrestok, I'm fairly sure the lady at the register recognizes me from YouTube because she gave me like a really big smile and was very happy to see me making the video. I'm fairly sure she's a subscriber, so if you're watching this, hello. A lot of people are sometimes hesitant to talk to me while I'm making videos. So yeah, thanks for saying at least hello. And if anybody does see me out and about in Moscow, please come up to me. And please stop me while I'm filming, because it's always nice to meet subscribers of the channel. Of course, quite a lot of the shops aren't fully open yet, and down the other end of the mall, there is quite a lot that are being worked on. And there's guys coming in and out of these doors as I've been walking around. They really like to keep things hidden and not show the workings of the stores. Now, this place on the left is where I want to show you, and I don't know this supermarket before coming here, and I'm really happy that I can show somewhere different. And there is actually a little fish place on the right hand side called Caviar, and it says there that this is the Sakhalin fish store. So I wonder if quite a few of the things here come from the Far East. But they've got some frozen fish, lots of nice filleted fish, of course lots of canned fish as well. And then they've even got a fridge with caviar in it. Of course, if the name's on the door, so you've got the well-known red caviar, and then there's a few cans of black caviar here also. The price of caviar varies so hugely in Russia depending on where it's from or what region it's coming from particularly. They've even got bulk fish as well from the Far East. So yeah, this little tiny place in the corner, which I didn't actually even notice the first time around. Have a look there, they've got the king crab, also even shrimp on a stick. This looks very nice. If you are sticking around to the very end of the video, I want you to put the word cleaver or knife in the comments, because this place is called Cool Cleaver. Now from this side of the shop, it looks like an alcohol store, which it is, and they've got all sorts of different very traditional alcohol and spirits, and pretty much as we saw in the other supermarket, but this is a much smaller chain of stores. They have around about 250 of them in Russia, mostly in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and a lot of their food they produce at their own factories, which is also quite interesting. They're not buying from other companies as much. And have a look at the selection of their alcohol. Now when you look from this end of the store, you don't notice what I'm going to walk through to show you and how expansive this place is. You can actually walk in from the street on the opposite side of the mall, but just have a look at the assortment in 2025. All of the different cognacs and brandies, and this whole area here. There is interestingly a mix of English and Russian words. So they've got all of the places where a lot of the alcohol is from, particularly for the wines: Spain, Italy, Portugal. And then they've got the words up there, New World. And somewhere here, if I can find it twice, they've got Australian wine right there. And then right next to it is Argentina. I think they might have it in alphabetical order in some form. But the New World is where all of the other wines come from. Also quite a few choices from South Africa. Special edition. And then even the beer selection is very nice. And I initially walked through the shopping center when I first got here, and I saw this place in the corner, and I was a little bit surprised until I walked through the back how much they've got in here. British flag up there with some beers also. It really is a test of your geography skills when you come to the alcohol sections, about where everything is from. And then when you come through the back here, the main reason this is called Cool Cleaver is for its meat selection. And depending on when you're watching this video, you might have seen a meat factory shop tour before or after this video. So they've got all of the cuts of meat. I will try to walk around it slowly. And this is more of a deli style shop. I'm not sure what to call this. This is a supermarket. Absolutely is. And then they've got all of these different prepared meats. Lots of choices. Of course, lots of traditional things at the same time. And what they've done is they place the baskets at the corners of the aisle, so when you go for a wander around, you pick up a few things and then realize that your hands are full and you need a basket. So has anybody been to one of these stores before? If you're from Russia, please let me know if you know this brand, because if they've got a few hundred shops, how is it that I don't know this until today? And I'm putting this into a shopping mall tour. Lots of very nice food. They would probably get their bread from a bakery that they make for themselves. Yeah, it's really very interesting. I've even got fresh pizzas here that you can just put in the oven. And now we've got an oven in our apartment. Makes me want to have a pizza tonight. Plenty of other ready-made food as well. Even hamburgers right there. How is this for a little hidden away shop in the corner of the shopping center? I'm really curious how this place will do in the coming months with a lot of people who live in this immediate area, because this will become their local shop. There's even a little cafe in the corner over here. So you can come and get yourself a cake, sit down. There's plugs for your phone. Very nice. I wonder how their honey cake is. Man, I'm feeling hungry. I'm really glad when I spotted this store that I came in, because of course my background is in retail and supermarkets, and this is what I know and what I live and breathe when I'm not making YouTube videos. So it's very nice to come and find somewhere new and different and interesting. You will actually see on a lot of the products their brand right here, which is their own private label. And they've got different factories and production across cities in Russia. But what do you think? I mean, when you looked at it from outside, you would not have seen this shop. And you would have just saw the alcohol, walked in and walked out, and that's it. As I make my way out of the shopping center, I thought I'd just show you the view from the other side of where I originally started the video. There is actually a very large school that's brand new and opened. And then have a look at all of these apartment buildings. And this was a factory district, this entire area. And all of this is brand new in the last 2 or 3 years at the most. The Moscow River is just at the end of the road there. And then all of this new residential area that's opened up. And then eventually the metro station will be at the next corner right there in a few months' time. So I'm patiently waiting. This is a very nice part of town. I mean, I understand a lot of people won't like modern buildings. There is quite a lot of different styles of apartments that they're built here, so it does vary quite a lot. But this is just really interesting to come for a walk around and see a brand new district in Moscow and in Russia generally, and then a brand new shopping center as well. So as I head away from the shopping center, you can just see it behind me. My hat's on, the gloves are on now. I don't have a very long walk to get to the train station, so it's really nice. Actually, just to walk through this district as well. It's a very new, modern part of Moscow, and you feel completely safe walking around here, no matter day or night. And I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and particularly for me to come and see a new shopping center and show it to you, and show you a new supermarket as well that I didn't expect to see. If you've made it to the end of the video, I hope this is not too long. I try to not film too many things and show everything, but I hope it was interesting to show you what's happening in 2025 here in Moscow and in Russia. I'm sure 2 days from now there'll be another shopping center opening, and this won't be the newest one in all of Russia, because they do open that quickly here. And especially these smaller, close to home shopping centers, this is considered small for a lot of people because it's just the essential things. There isn't aisle after aisle of shoe shops and clothing stores, so they're trying to branch out a little bit and have a lot more variety in the shopping centers and a lot more reasons to come back and not just shop and spend money. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Actually, give me a meat cleaver or a knife up. If you remember, I mentioned that earlier in the video. That way I know you're watching if you do that and you remember things that I've talked about. If you want to join me on Telegram, the link will be right here. I had to swap hands. And then if you want to see an old video on the channel, one will pop up right now, and you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'll see you in another video. Bye.